Hello everybody, we're looking at the Fool card. The Fool card is the beginning of the tarot deck, and in order to really grasp hold of what the Fool means, we're going to be comparing and contrasting it with the same card from different decks. We'll be looking at the Light Seers, which is a beautiful card, and I'll be replacing that with the Fool a little bit later. We've got the Witch's Tarot and the Everyday Witch. Everyday Witch is so fun, but my personal favourite is the Witch's Tarot because it's very close to the original Smith Rider-Waite. Okay, so let's look at some of the symbolism, because the symbolism, I tell you why, two reasons why it's really important. I feel that you should really learn and get to know all of the symbols and what they all mean, even though when you're starting out you think, oh, I'm never going to remember it all. But it's far better to do a little bit of hard work in the beginning and then you really reap the rewards, because by learning everything that's on here, because they have all been put here for a reason, they're often repeated throughout the deck, and because they're repeated throughout the deck you're able to learn the other cards so much quicker. So always better to start off. So okay, so what is the Fool then? If you're going to give an overall view, he's the newborn, or she's the newborn. There's no experience here, very naive, no expectations whatsoever about what's going to come tomorrow or later on in the day. They're a blank sheet. They're a very, very young energy. With the number 0, this is looking at cyclical nature, restarting something all over again, a possibility, a life force, a new life force, the wheel. I try to remember it as it's an onion. So when we have an onion, life is an onion. We are an onion, because when we go through our childhood we pick up all sorts of experiences that rob us of our naivety and set us up for karmic lessons that we've got to get over and spend the rest of our life getting over. And it's important to look at the 0 and realise, actually, whenever you get the Fool card, whether you know you're 15 or 50, the fact is it's telling you, okay, we need to have a clean slate here. We need to start afresh. We need to look at this experience and going in with it without some of our hang-ups and baggage. And if you find that you're about to go into and you've got this card, or you give this card over to somebody and they're of a certain age, it kind of says to me this person has to kind of get rid of all the baggage that they've been holding on to. You can't drag old baggage into a new situation, otherwise you're just recycling old karma. It's never going to go away. Oh, I so want to talk about that, but I'll be quiet on that one, because you could talk about karma. I actually have embraced karma now, having dragged karma around my life. For like most people, dragged sort of old learning lessons behind me. I've now committed myself to, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be like the Fool, and I'm going to enter into situations with a bit more of a lighter spirit and with wisdom, but I'm going to, you can't be bitter and twisted and angry all the time. You just can't do that. Okay, so we'll move in really quickly now. We've got the cliff edge. This is looking at solid ground. Whenever you see somebody sitting on stone, walking on stone, you know that there is a solid ground. Okay, so he's not making a stupid choice. People think, oh, he's jumping off a cliff, he's got to be a bit of an idiot. But no, he's on solid matter. So whatever he's jumping from, it's okay. He's on solid ground. Either emotionally he's on solid ground, or physically this is solid ground, you're okay to go through with whatever that decision is. He's jumping into what is classed as the abyss. And I love this concept of the abyss. And whenever you see them intimate the abyss, this is a good abyss. You know, religion is often sort of sees blackness as evil and dark and satanic. But the abyss, and you know, we see sort of space films, and they talk about going into the abyss and it being sort of dark and oh my goodness, what's going to happen, and quite fear-inducing. This is not the case in the tarot. There was a picture of with a latest deck. I think it's only a couple of years out now, and I've forgotten the name of it now. But you'll all know it if you have been looking at various different tarot decks. It's the High Priestess, and she's got a black onyx face, and it's quite unsettling for a lot of people because they think, oh God, it looks really kind of demonic almost. But actually, what it's showing is that she is the High Priestess. She is everything spiritual. It is no surprise to me that her face is black, because she's going into the unknown, and the unknown is on solid ground, because she is resting in the spirit of our Creator. How amazing is that? So, next one. So the abyss can be the unknown, the subconscious, spiritual transformation. How wonderful is that? So I don't mind jumping into abyss. Now we go over to the mountains. Actually, whenever you see mountains in a card, it is always talking about a challenge, an attainment, an end game, a goal. And it does, there's often mountains in cards. The very fact though is that kind of sticks out to me though here is that your mountain has got ice on it. The ice on it is to see that there is some form of isolation that's going on, and for him this is going to be an isolating experience. Okay, so it's a challenge, but it's also isolating. What does that mean? Well, it's talking about the fact that whenever we do and make a decision or make a new choice, start a new project, start a new relationship, you are doing it on your own. The repercussions are going to affect you on your own. And you can argue with me and say, oh yeah, but I'm doing it with a partner, I'm doing it with a friend. Yeah, but the ramifications of how this works out are still going to affect just you personally. It's so bear in mind, the Fool is jumping off. There is some sort of challenge or attainment or journey that's going to bring all sorts of challenges, but the ramifications are going to hit him personally. Right, the yellow sun. Whenever you see yellow in a Smith Rider-Waite card, it's all talking about the masculine. It's all talking about the masculine principle of reason. It's talking about, well, God establishes. So very warm though, very life-giving, but coming from a practical point of view as well. Some would also say that this, when you see lots of yellow in the Smith Rider-Waite, you're seeing lots of swords and wand action. So lots of air, lots of fire sign in the astrology. Okay. The dog is a sign. Whenever you see a dog in the Smith Rider-Waite, it's talking about a companion. You're never alone. We have spirit with us all the time, whether you call it God, the Holy Spirit, higher energy, higher self, your guides, your angels, whatever. It's saying you're not alone. You are doing this with company, and that's a wonderful thing to see. The Fool's body language is packed full of symbolism here. He's got the red of passion, an emotion here. He's got the pomegranates, denoting that female spirituality. He's got the stars, showing the astrological, going by his intuition again. We've got blue, denoting deep intuition and spirituality. But he's dressing, and also he's got white, which is purity and naivety. He's got the white rose as well, which is denoting, again, a symbol of freedom from more of the baser desires. You know, he's a light thinker. You know, he's not thinking anything too deeply. He's not dragging old baggage with him. He's just feeling light and airy, innocent and purity. Wherever you see white, it's innocent and purity. When you see white with the ice, though, that's looking at isolation. The waves here, I mean, these look like really sort of more ice on this particular one, but often in the deck this is classed as water, and water is all about emotional realms. He's really, you know, just the Fool card isn't just about physical things that may happen in our lives, brand new things. It could be talking about a new way to think. You have to have a new way to think, and so most of the Fool cards will have some form of water inside of it, basically to say there are deep levels of emotional probable exploration, and they might stretch you, but you know, go into it with a light spirit, and it all should benefit you. So really, I feel that that's gone through it all for what the symbols mean. He's carrying a wand. Wands are very practical, and we know that with wands, you know, they're representing fire. It has been estimated that inside his bag he might actually have the cup and the pentacle and a small kind of dagger. But this wand, it's a practical thing. He's going in with practicality in mind as well, but he's the sort of guy that's expecting the universe to just give him what he needs, which is why he's under the sun. He's expecting abundance to come to him when and if he needs it. He's traveling light, so he's resting in the knowledge that everything will be all right. You know, that positivity. His head is high. He's full of joy. He's restarting that new journey, and he's got his wand, which kind of say, you know, power, inspiration and action, and that's kind of, you know, that's going to kind of take him through his journeys. Okay, so I'm already on to 13 minutes. We've got 2 minutes left. So let's look at the 3 different options here of what we have. Okay, so we have the red for the passion that he's going to be embarking on, that's represented in the Witch's Tarot. The blue, talking about that, you know, beautiful intuition. He's got his head high, he's got the wand, he's got his travelling light, he's got the white rose, he's got his dog. Beautiful amount of sea here. There isn't any yellow, but he's got to remind us that he's on that journey. He's got the mountains, and he's got water, and he's got a bit, I think this to me could be grass, and that could be the sea, or that could be sea, and that could just be a bit of air that's above and below. But blue always represents spiritual realms. Then here we've got on the Everyday Witch, she looks like she's just finished school. She's in school uniform, and she's going, yay, I finished. I just want to jump off and go and visit somewhere new. And so she could be going to university. We've got birds always represent, and to be honest, most, if not all, of tarot designers, they put symbols in here in order to clarify a point. They're not just stuck in there. And birds generally mean communication. But she's got here the sea, beautiful level sea. If you have choppy sea, it means emotions are high. But you know, it's a nice day to go sailing, and she's able to. She's feeling relaxed, basically. Relaxed sea is a relaxed mind. A choppy sea is a turbulent mind. But there's no yellow and everything else. Right, okay, moving over here to the Light Seers card. We have the yellow, and wonderfully we have the yellow with rays coming from on high, and it's almost catching her, and she's so relaxed and so surrendered to being the Fool that she's leaning backwards and about to fall into this pool of spirituality and emotions. And we can see that she's got her wand. She's surrendering to a new experience, and she's trusting that the masculine energy of practicality here with the wand and with the yellow is going to catch her. She's also being with a crystal in her hand. It's almost like she's also being a conduit. So she's not just saying I'm receiving from, but I'm also, the energy that's within me is going to pass through, and I'm not worried about the future because I have within me everything that I have to be able to make this new journey practical and positive. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense, and you will forever know what the Fool card means. And I hope you enjoy this series. Thank you.